Hey guys, so I saw Jeremy from the Quartering cover this, and of course, he likes to tiptoe around words and topics and certain things like that. So I'm just gonna read an article exactly as is, words and all. So, because he's saying how apparently YouTube will scan the article and whatever and pick out certain words, but I just did one not too long ago about a mother who slit her daughter's throat. I mean, it's kind of like it was in the title and everything, and I said it several times in the video. Nothing. So I think he's just being a nervous Nancy. A glamorous law student in coke bust sentenced to 25 years in hellhole Dubai prison, where rape is everyday occurrence. So let me just say 25 years is probably a little excessive, but you have to keep in mind this is another country. So if you go to another country, I mean, Jeremy said the same thing, but it's common sense. If you go to another country, you need to abide by their laws. And before you go, you need to look up said laws. So that way, you don't do anything disrespectful. You're not doing anything that's taboo. And you certainly don't bring coke to another country when they have strict rules against it. It's like what's her name? Brittany Griner or whatever with the whole thing with Russia. It's the same thing. Um, just don't do it. But a glamorous law student will spend the next 25 years in a hellhole Dubai prison where rape is an everyday occurrence over a bust involving about $3,400 in cocaine. Mia O'Brien. Well, her name is Mia O'Brien. A 23-year-old wannabe lawyer from the United Kingdom. Are they really just using the term lawyer or law student as a cover? Like, is this bitch actually like an OnlyFans model or some whatever freaking prostitute? Like, are they tiptoeing around it as well? Because I mean, a glamorous. I mean, come on, come on. Without the makeup, she's probably mid at best. Received devastating sentence after being found with 50 grams of the drug at an apartment in Dubai, her mother said last week. O'Brien, and it's O'Brien, must also pay $136,000 fine for the crime, which involved about $3,400 worth of the drug, Britain's Mirror said. She pleaded not guilty. They don't have a just trial over there. Distraught mom Danielle McKenna, 46, told the Daily Mail from her home in Merseyside, northwest England. Merseyside. Did I say Mary? Oh, for some reason it looked like double R's. Merseyside. She was just given a life sentence and has to serve 25 years. McKenna said at her once promising daughter, said of her once promising daughter that the trial was all in Arabic, and Mia was told of the sentence later by her lawyer. She is absolutely devastated by what has happened. Mia is being really strong, but I know she's going through a living hell. I mean, Dubai, again, they have their own laws, but we know how certain men are in Dubai or in Middle Eastern countries. We know how they act towards women, so yeah, probably not going to be good for her. And has she just knew the laws, or just, I mean, drugs are pretty much illegal everywhere. So if you're going to a country like that, why would you even risk it? You're supposed you're supposed to be an aspiring law student, and you didn't know that. Again, 25 years for, what did they say, 50 grams, right? They said I think they said 50. Yeah, 50 grams. 25 years for 50 grams seems a little excessive, and I hope to the Dark Lord that nothing happens to her in that prison, because just because she was sent to that prison, doesn't mean she deserves to, get raped and die in there over just a simple drug charge. But it is also a cautionary tale that if you're going to another country, You need to know the law, especially if you're apparently an aspiring student, law student. You know, the mom said her daughter, who is studying law at the University of Liverpool, is devastated after destroying her career chances. Mia feels she has destroyed her life as she wanted to be a lawyer or solicitor. She just made a stupid mistake after going over to see a friend and her boyfriend in Dubai. I don't think she was asking to bring anything back. She was caught with cocaine in an apartment. It was about 50 grams, and there were two other people, her friend included. They have been charged with drug dealing. So they assume because looks like it was on her, she's the one who, is a heavier charge because it was on her. But then her friends are like, well, you guys are guilty by association and you guys supplied it, so you guys are in trouble too. O'Brien is being held in Dubai's infamous, God, freaking hair, man, like cat hair. Dubai's infamous prison, central prison, which is known for its inhuman conditions, overcrowded cells, and brutal guards. Rape is an everyday occurrence at the lockup, where both guards and inmates engage in violent assaults, according to a report from Human Rights Watch last year. Again, I hope to the Dark Lord that nothing happens to this girl while there. And despite it being really, really bad, I hope there's some way to minimize her sentence, because 25 years is a bit ridiculous for a simple drug charge. But unfortunately, places like in the Middle East aren't as lenient as America is. There are some countries that have absolutely no tolerance. Here it's like, oh, first time offense, slap on the wrist. Now you don't you be getting caught with no coke now again, you hear? We don't want to see that coke on you. But Middle Eastern countries, again, a little different than America. But go ahead, people, continue to say how you're oppressed here. This woman's going to be serving 25 years in a prison where she's constantly at their mercy and possibly going to be raped every fucking day. But please, do tell me how you're oppressed here. Mia said she has to sleep on a mattress on the floor and shares a cell with 6 others. The prison conditions are horrendous, and I have to sneeze so bad right now. You guys, it's that moment where you sneeze so hard and so much that everything's just, you get really dizzy. Whoa. Sometimes, for me, sometimes I'll sneeze so much that my nose starts to bleed. But luckily, that's not the case this time. My nose is just runny. But I hate that. When you sneeze so much, you're like looking around and everything's just like, ooh. But where was I? The prison conditions are horrendous. There's no staff really, and she has to bang on a big door if she needs anything. She's seen fights, and she said she's been really scared. O'Brien is due to appeal her life sentence in the coming weeks, which I hope it goes through and they are able to appeal it. GoFundMe was set up by McKenna to pay her daughter's legal fees. Was shut down by the website for violating its terms. And the mother has resorted to sharing her bank details on Facebook to raise money. Are you? Okay. So I'm going to read comments. So sorry about this, guys. Flashbang. Incoming in 3, 2, 1. The light. It burns. People have gotten accustomed to a lack of consequences for law breaking in most Western countries. Stealing, dealing, actual violence, no problem. Perhaps if there were consequences for lawbreakers in government, others would learn to respect the law. After all, laws are passed by our elected representatives. If you don't like them, work to replace them. Western women who wind up in Dubai are often flown in for less than charitable reasons. Also, unfortunately, rape is a way of life in men's prisons. The fact is well known and seemingly accepted by society, which is, again, tell us how you're fucking oppressed here when women over in Dubai and these Middle Eastern countries have to deal with this on a regular basis. I mean, women in Iraq or one of those places just get the right to drive a couple years ago? But please, do tell me how you have it so hard in America, where women always have a lighter sentence than men do. Please, do tell me. Um, well-known fact. Well, I certainly don't wish this upon this person. Yeah, I mean, again, I hope to the Dark Lord that it doesn't happen. The fact that this story pointed out the potential for it to happen when it is never brought up when a man is in prison is an interesting take on the events of her case. Well, for men, it's kind of like it's a given. It's like people who harm children or, people who are afraid to come out with their sexuality, knowing that if their sexuality was to be known, that they become someone's girlfriend real fast. So unfortunately, it needs to be talked about because it does happen to women. And that's one reason why people have fought so hard to keep like trans individuals out of women prisons because there's already enough shit going on in there between the women. But if you take someone who commits sexual acts, sexual crimes, and they claim to be a female, and then you stick them into a prison with females, actual females, you're just setting them up. No matter what those women are in there for, they don't deserve to have to live in fear due to being raped by a biological man. So these are the kinds of conversations that need to be talked about. With men, you see it all the time on dramas. If you watch, Law and Order enough or any kind of drama, the men are always saying, "Oh man, I can't do that. I'll end up someone's girlfriend." So for them, it's chalked up like it's a joke almost, but it doesn't go to the other side to show women deal with the same. I mean, maybe you have like Orange is the New Black. I guess if they went into that, I never watched the show, but I know it's a bunch of women in prison. I know a lot of them had consensual relationships, but I mean, if that show truly reflected what it's like in a woman's prison, then I would assume they would show the non-consensual part of it. But again, this is the stuff that needs to be. It's talked about more with the men than it is with the women. So I truly hope that this woman is able to appeal or something, and if at the very least, have her serve her term in an American prison or a non-American because she's not American in her home, in Britain, in England, at the very least, unless prisons in England are just as bad. Was that most Americans fail to realize that when they're in another country, they're subject to the country's laws and penalties for drug possession. And the penalties for drug possession can be draconian, including death. There is just that little daddy or the State Department can do to help. Yeah, there's little that daddy or yeah. Bottom line, you don't get a second chance in most other countries. Yeah, that's what I said. It's a small amount, and 25 years for 50 grams. I like how they put it: 50 grams or 1.76 ounces. That's like nothing. That's nothing. 25 years for that. So again, I hope that this woman is able to serve out her sentence, not only just minimize it, but also serve it out not in a Dubai prison because this woman does not need to worry about being fucking, have to worry about, the crap that goes on. She shouldn't have to worry about being raped every fucking day. I mean, no one in these prisons should have to worry about that. And the fact that it's so acknowledged and accepted in Dubai and in that culture, it's fucking disgusting. Any prison around the world that knows that it's going on and just Okay, I don't care what the people there have done. Now people say if you harm children, then yeah, you outright deserve it. Um, and I agree. If you want to do terrible things to people who can't defend themselves, and you should probably have terrible things done to you. But 25 years in a Dubai prison where they rape people on the daily for 50 grams. She should have studied law a little more in Liverpool before going to another country and breaking the law. Considering the quality of UK university teaching in recent decades, it would not have made much of a difference. Yeah, they're over there. It's basically like here. No one really bothers teaching anything anymore. It's just fucking gender studies and indoctrination. Coke is like water in merry old England. She should have dropped out eventually. Once the OnlyFans checks started coming in. 50 grams. That's a Friday night for Hunter. Tourists often underestimate the danger in traveling in some countries. In China, they've been busy blocking people from leaving, including recent cases with a U.S. government employee and a business executive. No exit, no rights, no hope. Welcome to Dubai, 21st century architecture with 14th century ideals. But do tell us how you're oppressed in America. I mean, it's pretty sad seeing that people are like, oh, she should know better, and I agree. But again, 25 years in a prison where they willingly and knowingly let people just get fucking raped for 50 grams of cocaine. Are you fucking kidding me? But again, unfortunately, that's every country has its own laws. So I hope appeals are made, and I hope again that she can at least serve her sentence in the UK, um, or maybe settle on more of a misdemeanor and get less time and something that's however the law works over there. Especially if it's her first offense. If it's more the fact that she can prove that her friends were the ones who had it, or the distributed, or whatever she has to do. I don't know what she would have to do in Dubai, but hopefully it works out for her and she doesn't have to go to a Dubai prison. Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.